The 1982 Falklands War ignited one of the most intense modern aerial conflicts fought over remote ocean and rugged islands. Britain and Argentina, separated by geography but united in determination, clashed in a dramatic air campaign where technology, courage, and endurance decided the fate of fleets and ground forces alike. This video explores every major aircraft that took part in that conflict, organized by nation and operational role, revealing how each machine shaped the battle for the South Atlantic. Beginning with the United Kingdom's combat and strike aircraft, the BAE Sea Harrier stood at the center of Britain's air war. Operating from small carrier decks in brutal weather, its revolutionary vertical and short takeoff capability allowed it to defend the fleet without relying on traditional air bases. Despite overwhelming odds and constant Argentine sorties, Sea Harrier pilots achieved air superiority, scoring numerous kills while remarkably avoiding any air-to-air combat losses. Supporting the defensive perimeter, the McDonnell Douglas Phantom operated from Ascension Island. Though far from the combat zone, its powerful radar and interceptor capability formed a protective shield over Britain's critical mid-Atlantic staging base, ensuring the air bridge to the task force remained secure. Argentina's strike power relied heavily on the Douglas A-4 Skyhawk, a veteran jet pushed to its limits. Flying at extremely low altitude to evade British radar, Skyhawk pilots executed daring bombing runs against warships. Their attacks sank and damaged multiple vessels, proving that even aging aircraft could be lethal when flown with precision and bravery. Alongside them flew the IAI Dagger, Israel's Mirage-derived fighter. Used primarily in ground attack roles, Daggers struck British ships during the San Carlos landings, inflicting damage despite suffering losses to Sea Harriers and ship-launched missiles. Few aircraft had as strategic an impact as the Dassault Super-Étendard. Argentina possessed only a handful, yet their deployment changed naval warfare overnight. Armed with Exocet anti-ship missiles, these jets struck from beyond fleet defenses. Their attacks sank HMS Sheffield and the Atlantic Conveyor, demonstrating the devastating reach of modern standoff weapons. In close air support, Argentina fielded the FMAIA-58 Pucará, a rugged turboprop designed for counterinsurgency. Operating from rough island strips, it harassed British troops until many were destroyed on the ground or captured as British forces advanced. Trainer aircraft were also drawn into combat. The Armachi MB-339 conducted light attack missions, and during the San Carlos landings, one successfully bombed HMS Argonaut. The ship survived, but the strike proved even light jets posed real danger. Meanwhile, the Beechcraft T-34 Turbo Mentor served reconnaissance roles. Though unarmed, these trainers gathered intelligence by flying low over the islands, providing Argentina with valuable battlefield awareness until several were captured after the surrender. Turning to British bomber operations, the Avro Vulcan carried out the legendary Operation Black Buck missions. Flying from Ascension Island, Vulcans executed some of the longest bombing raids in history, requiring complex aerial refueling chains involving numerous tanker aircraft. Their objective was Port Stanley's runway, and though physical damage was limited, the psychological and strategic impact was immense, forcing Argentina to divert air defenses. Argentina countered with the English Electric Canberra, a versatile bomber that also performed reconnaissance. Despite its age, Canberra crews flew high-risk missions photographing British positions and conducting bombing operations. The aircraft's endurance and reliability kept it relevant decades after its introduction. In the intelligence war, Britain deployed the BAE Nimrod, a maritime patrol and electronic surveillance aircraft. Nimrods monitored Argentine radar emissions, intercepted communications, and tracked naval activity, giving British commanders a comprehensive picture of enemy movements. Argentina relied on a mix of improvised reconnaissance platforms. Executive jets, such as the Learjet and Hawker Siddeley HS-125, were pressed into military service, transporting commanders and sensitive intelligence rapidly across the mainland. The Mitsubishi Mu-2 and domestically produced FMA IA-50 Guarani too supported logistics and liaison duties, while aircraft like the Aero Commander and the legendary Douglas DC-3 continued to haul personnel and supplies, proving the enduring value of older designs. Maritime patrol operations were vital in the vast South Atlantic. Argentina's Lockheed P-2 Neptune searched tirelessly for the British task force, though aging sensors limited effectiveness. Carrier-borne Grumman S-2 tracker aircraft provided anti-submarine protection for Argentina's fleet until the EEBE carrier withdrew due to British nuclear submarine threats. Additional surveillance came from the Embraer EMB-111 Bandeirante and converted Lockheed L-188 Electra airliners, extending reconnaissance coverage across enormous ocean sectors. British long-range operations depended heavily on tanker and transport fleets. The Handley Page Victor served as the backbone of aerial refueling, enabling everything from Vulcan bombing raids to extended fighter patrols. Without Victor tankers, Britain's air campaign would have been impossible. Complementing them, the Vickers VC-10 transported troops, cargo, and personnel to Ascension Island, transforming it into a critical logistical hub. Argentina's transport network relied on aircraft such as the Fokker F-28 Fellowship, which rapidly moved reinforcements between mainland bases. The rugged Alenia G-222 thrived on austere runways, while the de Havilland Canada DHC-6 Twin Otter excelled in the Falklands' harsh terrain, landing on grass strips and improvised fields. The boxy Short SC-7 Skyvan provided short takeoff and landing cargo capability, delivering supplies directly to forward positions. Helicopters played an equally decisive role. Britain fielded the Westland Wessex, which transported troops and supplies under fire, and the compact Westland Wasp, deployed from frigates for anti-submarine warfare. One famously attacked the submarine Santa Fe, contributing to its capture. Light reconnaissance duties fell to the Westland Gazelle, while the Westland Scout handled casualty evacuation, artillery spotting, and resupply missions across difficult terrain. Argentina's rotary fleet was diverse. The Aerospatiale Puma moved troops across the islands, while the iconic Bell UH-1 Iroquois evacuated wounded and supplied defensive positions. Twin-engine Bell 212 helicopters added safety for overwater flights. Command and liaison missions used the sleek Augusta A109, several of which were captured and reused by British forces. Additional support came from the Aerospatiale Alouette 3, Bell 206 Jet Ranger, Sikorsky S-58, MBB Bo 105, and Hughes MD 500, each contributing reconnaissance, transport, or observation capability. Some aircraft served both sides in different roles. The Lockheed C-130 Hercules was indispensable. Britain used it for strategic airlift to Ascension, while Argentina flew hazardous night resupply missions into the islands, one aircraft being lost in combat. The Westland Lynx operated from British ships armed with Sea Skua missiles, while Argentine variants performed anti-submarine duties. Heavy lift operations featured the Boeing CH-47 Chinook. Britain's surviving Chinook became legendary for non-stop troop and artillery movement, while Argentina used theirs for logistics until air superiority halted flights. Finally, the Sea King helicopter served both nations, Britain using the Westland-built version for anti-submarine warfare and rescue, while Argentina's Sikorsky-built Sea Kings hunted submarines and recovered downed airmen. The Falklands Air War proved that victory depended not on a single aircraft, but on an interconnected web of fighters, bombers, tankers, transports, patrol planes, and helicopters. Each machine, whether advanced jet or aging propeller aircraft, played a role in shaping the outcome. In the freezing winds of the South Atlantic, technology met human courage, and aviation history was written in fire across the skies of 1982.